What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to LTQ Wrestling Podcast. We got 2 weeks of wrestling. Tonight is AEW Full Gear. Should be an interesting show. A lot of fans are looking forward to a lot of unpredictability. Not the best match card, but sometimes those be the ones you sleep on. And then we have NXT and WWE, I guess, which is Saturday night's main event coming up December 12th, I believe. John Cena's final show. That's in the next month. And then we have Survivor Series Wargames this weekend, along with Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody has a good holiday. QJ, how we doing? We ready to talk some War Games predictions?
Yeah, pretty good.
Well, let's get into it. So, one of QJ's favorites of all time, 2 matches remaining. He's going to be defending his Intercontinental Championship against Dirty Dom Mysterio. They've had some good promos against each other. Their match wasn't bad on Raw the other night, and they had a 6-man tag. It's been an interesting feud, to say the least. I like Dom getting an opportunity to go mic to mic with Cena. I think he did a hell of a job for somebody who hasn't really been on the mic with somebody like Cena's level. 2 matches left. And, really for me, I'm taking it all in at this point because, this is one of the greats. 2 matches left. I do think Cena's going to probably do a lot more during this match. I've seen some complaints saying like, oh, he didn't do a lot on Raw and SmackDown, all that. I mean, it's Raw and SmackDown. I ain't expecting him to do too much. But John Cena against Dom Mysterio, Intercontinental Championship. QJ, are you looking forward to this match, and who are you predicting?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They have some good mic skills. It's good Dom giving that opportunity and stuff. It's a tough call because you had Cena won on Raw, so I believe Cena will retain, and I feel like his last match he'll probably end up losing it there. That'd be the best move.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. For me, it's tough because, I wouldn't be shocked if Dom wins the title back just because I feel like he just lost it because Cena wanted to become a Grand Slam champion. The WWE wanted him to become a Grand Slam champion. Cena wants to put somebody younger over on his way out. Dom would be the perfect guy to do that. So would it shock me to see Dom win it back? No, but I don't know if they want Cena going to his last match after a loss. So we'll have to see. But I'm going to go actually Dirty Dom wins this match. I think WWE is going to have him win the title back. Cena doesn't need to have the title for his last match, especially if he faces somebody like Gunther, because Gunther doesn't really need the title. He's already been like one of the longest reigning IC champs of all time. So we'll have to see. I've seen a lot of fans actually hoping Carmelo Hayes wins this tournament, which I think that would be something Cena would like because it'd be somebody younger that Cena can put over. So maybe that's a possibility. But the problem is Carmelo's facing Gunther on Raw in the tournament. I don't know how they're going to do that unless they have Carmelo beat him by a count out like he did with Bronson Reed. Maybe they have Carmelo Hayes be like this underdog who escapes with the victories and all this other stuff. We'll see. It does suck that Sheamus ain't going to be in the tournament anymore because he got injured, which I heard who his replacement was. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. It's on Twitter, though, if you guys want to know who it is. But, yeah, I'm going to go Dirty Dom Mysterio. I think this is going to be a very fun match. I'd like to see Cena hit a 619 just because he teased it. It'd be funny to see him hit on Rey Mysterio's son. I could see Judgment Day interfering to a degree. Maybe Rey comes out with somebody else now that Sheamus is hurt, and they kind of have like a brawl, and then that's the end of the match. We'll see, though. All in all, 2 matches left in Cena's career, so QJ, quick question. Would you, I know you're a Carmelo Hayes fan, would you want to see him and Cena for Cena's last match? I just mentioned that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'll be a good way to put over someone. Big fan of Carmelo Hayes. I feel like someone new needs to fight Cena in this last match, so fans could be like, "Oh, wow, he beat Cena in this last match," or just it'll get fans to feel important in a way, get someone to look at.
I agree. That's why I'm not really like fully on board with Gunther winning. I get it, but it's like he's already been world champion. He doesn't really gain a lot from it, but we'll see what WWE ends up doing. Should be a fun last match regardless of who it is. So women's world title on the line. Stephanie Vercure, who hasn't really had many title defenses since she won because they had, a few pay-per-views where it wasn't really needed for her to defend the title. Against Nikki Bella, who recently turned her back on her on Raw. She's now a heel. Nikki recently said this is her last run as a wrestler, so who knows how long that'll be. Makes you question if maybe WWE put the title on her just because it's her final run. I've seen a lot of fans may be thinking that's a possibility. So, QJ, who do you see winning between Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vercure for the WWE Women's World Title?
Since this is Nikki's last run, I don't know. I think I'll see Stephanie Vercure winning this.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Nikki winning would be interesting. I just don't really see it happening right now. Maybe in like a few months. Stephanie Vercure really needs to have the title a little bit longer. She hasn't really defended it a whole lot. And I like Stephanie Vercure. I know there's fans out there who think she's only popular because of the moves she does with, the Booker T stuff and everything. But she's a really good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You got noticed in AEW. That's where you got to give AEW some credit. She faced Mercedes Moné, which hopefully Mercedes doesn't win another title tonight. She already has about 14. Jeez. But anyways, yeah, I see Stephanie Vercure retaining. Hopefully she has a lengthy title reign. Not that every title reign needs to be lengthy, though. I feel like Triple H sometimes makes every title reign like a year or two. It doesn't have to always be like that. So we'll see how long he has Stephanie Vercure hold the title. But I do think that'd be a good rivalry. Probably go. Do I see this being a one and done match? No. I can see it going maybe 2-3 pay-per-views. We'll see, though, how the fan reaction is to it. For the women's War Games. Now, I predicted the last two. I was getting a lot of flack, like, oh, no, it's not going to be this. I picked both of them final entrances. When you watch WWE for so long, you can kind of know, at least I think you should probably know who they're going to put. They usually go with the same people anyways half the time. So women's War Games, the heel team, we got Lash Legend, who recently got called up already in a big-time match, so that's good for her. Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Kairi Sane against AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte. So a pretty stacked women's War Games. There's a little bit of a worry about AJ Lee being in it just because it's her second match back, and she's already in a big War Games match. Now, we're not going to see blood and thumbtacks and all that shit you saw in the AEW, blood and guts matches, but there's still some brutal spots that can be done during this match. I do think Io's probably going to do her classic moonsault off the top of the War Games and everything else. We'll see. So, QJ, who do you see winning, Team Heel or Team Face in the women's War Game match?
Very excited for this War Games. Survivor Series is always my favorite pay-per-view. And then obviously now they included the War Games. I see AJ Lee, the team face woman winning. Usually they do a flip-flop. I noticed the pattern. Sometimes, they'll have the heel win, then the face, heel, face, heel, face. So I can see the face winning, pulling that off.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because they do flip-flop a lot. A lot of big names. Hopefully Lash Legend gets to show what she can do. There's a lot of fans out there who doubt her, but she is very talented. Tough to see who wins for me. I know they want to continue the AJ Lee and Becky feud. Maybe one of them pin each other for the victory. Nia Jax, she's always in this match, even though last time she was in it, it was a complete botch fest, and she was just, I don't even know what happened. I remember last year she hit someone with the kendo, and it was like not even connecting. It was just a mess. But Triple H loves him some Nia Jax. She's always in these big-time matches, so whatever. Asuka, always great. Kairi, I've heard a lot of criticism for her because she's botched a few times. I think she had a powerbomb to Io that Io hit her neck. I think that was planned, though, but a lot of criticism. Hopefully just very clean. Sometimes in these War Games matches, men and women, they try to do a little bit too much, and there's just missed spots or botched spots. Just, don't overdo it. I mean, you don't have to do a bunch of crazy spots. But for me, I'm going to go the face team. I think AJ Lee's going to pin Becky off of something, and that sets up their big match or feud even longer because they've already set that up with Maxine Dupree winning the championship, which congrats to her. That was a nice moment for her. So, yeah, I'm going to go Team Face wins this. So we have, as Tears likes to say, the main event of the men's War Game match. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes, the two world champions, against Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre. A very stacked War Games match. WWE usually always puts the Bloodline in this match, even though they're not the Bloodline anymore. It's pretty much the same team they had last year, minus Sami Zayn, replacing with Cody Rhodes, which is kind of funny. Against Division, which, they've been good. You got Logan Paul, say what you want about him. Good heel, great wrestler. Drew McIntyre, who I've complained about his booking a lot. I do not want to see Drew take a pin in this match. That would be horrible. And then Brock Lesnar, who has his ties to Paul Heyman, which is why I told a lot of people who doubted it that Brock was going to be the fifth member. They're like, oh, no, Brock's not going to be in War Games. Why not? It ain't elimination. He can come in and do his Germans and F5s and what he usually does. But anyways, QJ, how you feeling about this men's War Games, and who do you see getting the victory in this?
Just gonna be a stacked War Games. A lot of good names in here who could really put on the show, give us a show. I have to go with Team Hill on this one. For Brock, you already know when he comes, he'll just be dominating everybody. Suplex. Got Braun Breaker, he'll be hitting his as fast as he is. And then that spear. Yeah, I see Team Hill. I see the Hills winning this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think someone's going to turn heel on the face team, whether that's Jay, maybe Jay. I mean, I'm not forgetting that Roman Reigns lost to Bronson Reed because of Jey Uso. I know there's a lot of fans out there who kind of forgot about that. I'm not, because WWE likes to do that where stuff like that kind of is forgotten and it comes back. So could Jay turn heel? A lot of fans have really been hating on Jay. Could it be the time to turn him heel? I know there's a lot of young kids in the crowd and, younger audience and everything else who get behind Jey Uso. But, he's got a lot of criticism. Is it time to just kind of forget the Yeet thing and go heel? That's a possibility. Jimmy's kind of the forgotten man on this team. Could he just flip out and turn on his brother or turn on Roman Reigns? That's a possibility. I know there's a lot of fans out there who think Cody's going to turn heel. I don't see it happening right now. He's a top baby face. I don't see them really having anybody else to take over for him when it comes to being that face of the company, the merch sales, everything else. That comes into consideration as well. So, yes, they have both world champions on the face team, but they don't have to take the pin. It's not an elimination match. It's just 5-on-5 traditional War Games. Once that body enters, you can go for a pin and get the win or submission. So I see Jay or Jimmy taking the pin for that team. Could they have the heel team lose? Yes, I just don't know who takes the pin. Braun Breaker's not taking the pin. Brock Lesnar's not taking a pin. I doubt Logan Paul takes the pin. Bronson Reed would probably be the most likely candidate to take a pin in this match, but he just lost to Carmelo Hayes. Do you really want him losing again? And then Drew McIntyre, he don't need to take a pin right now. He just lost 2-3 times to Cody. So to me, it just makes sense to have the heel team get something. You're trying to build up Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to be the next top heels if they are not already. I just don't think the face team benefits a lot from winning this. They already have a big bunch of big names who are kind of already made on that team. The heel team, honestly, to me, just needs a lot more. So we'll have to see. I know there's a lot of fans out there who missed the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. They are doing one on SmackDown. They gave Sami Zayn the Jobber Squad against Solo's group, which, I mean, it is what it is. But, QJ, I know you're a fan of Survivor Series. Do you miss the traditional 5-on-5, or do you like this War Games, or do you wish they kind of implemented both? I've seen some fans saying that, they should do a Raw versus SmackDown in War Games. What do you think about all that?
Good question. Yeah, I do miss the traditional. You go back in the days. You look at it, it was intense, and then now you got the War Games. Not saying I don't like that. I don't know. Kind of implemented both. Have one where you have the traditional, and then have one where you have the War Games instead of having both have to be War Games. So just still give us that traditional. The women's could be a traditional or whatever. Then the men's could still have their War Games, or the next year the men's will do the traditional and the women's do the War Games. Could do it like that. Yeah, I do miss it with the brands. So we used to, verse each other, stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't really do that a lot anymore. I don't really get why they always talk about this brand split stuff, and
just don't feel it. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's just the problem is there's not really much of a story for the women's one for one. It's just kind of just 10 women thrown there together. I mean, yeah, they're trying to do the Charlotte and Rhea don't want to team up thing and all that, but where's the investment? And it was the same thing with AEW. There wasn't really much of an investment. It's just like, okay, let's just throw 5-on-5 together and do a match. Like, that's not. And the men's has more story because Reigns has a connection to all the face team and Brock and all that, but they haven't really built it up a whole lot. It's just been kind of just happening. The women's one, especially like this year, they should have just done like a Raw versus SmackDown match because it's just like, okay, why should I care about this War Games when there's no story, there's nothing to invest in, there's nothing on the line. It's just like the winning team just wins. There's, if you're going into a brutal match like this, I do think there should be something on the line during it. Like the winning team gets 5 good spots in the Rumble, or I don't know, something. Like, I hate matches that are big, but nothing's on the line during it. Like, it just kind of annoys me. That's the problem with both these companies. They kind of just do matches just to do them sometimes. And, we'll have to see how this match goes. I do think this will be a really solid pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to Cena's second to last match. We'll have to see how he does during that. The women's War Games should be fun. The men's War Games, I'm curious how that's going to end. And then Bakira and Nikki Bella, I get Nikki Bella got a lot of criticism against Becky. You should have that horrible botch, but she's not a horrible wrestler to me. I don't really think Nikki's that bad. I think she'll have a good match against Stephanie here. So I do think this has potential to be a very good show. But sometimes with WWE, it can look like a good show, and they just make it boring, or it drags along, or it's just whatever. So we'll have to see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our predictions. Make sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. Comment your predictions down below. Peace.